Sheila Carter Sharp, played by Kimberlin Brown, isn't always the best pick, based on teasers for The Bold and The Beautiful. Despite this, she is as rehabilitated as someone like her can remain. Over the years, Sheila was always the villain. This time, may the predator become the prey? Let's talk about the possibilities. Sheila Carter Sharp was caught. Deacon exposed Sheila, so let's start with her. Deacon found out about it from someone else just as she was ready to tell him everything. Unexpectedly, the restaurant owner was informed about Luna Nozawa's, Lisa Yamada, presence by Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn. After confronting Sheila, Deacon left her. The marriage can dissolve even though Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, told the waitress that Deacon would return. The persona of Rebecca Budig Sheila's has never been a favorite of Taylor Hayes. Deacon Sharp's therapy. After learning the truth, Deacon located Taylor. Although she is aware that it is perilous, Taylor consented to give him counsel. Is Taylor really objective enough to advise Deacon on his marriage to Sheila? Taylor Hayes falls too soon. In therapy, Deacon and Taylor talked, according to teasers on The Bold and The Beautiful. There was a connection when they were in this same situation a few years ago. However, it never produced anything. Taylor and Deacon may begin dating immediately this time. However, it might come too soon considering Taylor and Deacon's heartbreaks with Sheila and Ridge Forrester, Torsten K. Was Sheila Carter Sharp intimidated? What would happen if Deacon felt pressure to go back to Sheila? In the past, Taylor has typically exhibited good character. Therefore, in order to make herself more appealing, it would be necessary for her to become dishonest and dirty. What would happen if she refused to let Deacon go? What would happen if respected physician Taylor lost it and started to harass Sheila? First of all, nobody would really trust Sheila because of her past. Furthermore, it would be hard to imagine Taylor acting in such a nasty manner. Sheila may run into a wall of suspicion from other people, especially if Taylor actively tries to hide when people are around. Some people think it's Sheila's karma, which is another reason. After all, she caused a lot of harm to a lot of individuals in Los Angeles. Has she really atoned for her sins, even if she has changed? Keep an eye out, because this might be the soap opera's way of finding balance. Days passed, but for Sheila, time no longer felt real. The hours blurred together in a haze of bitterness and sleeplessness. She found herself pacing the apartment, hearing Deacon's voice in her head. I need peace.
Peace.
That word gnawed at her, because peace, to Sheila Carter, had always been something she gave up for love, and love had always been her curse. At Il Giardino, employees whispered about how pale and distracted she'd become. The woman who once terrified half of Los Angeles now looked haunted. Lee Finnegan noticed it first. When Sheila dropped a tray and stared at it like she couldn't remember what it was, Lee reached out. Sheila, she said gently, you look exhausted. Maybe you need a break. Sheila's head snapped up.
No.
I'm fine.
You're not, Lee said.
Whatever's happening with you and Deacon, stay out of it. Sheila hissed, before softening instantly. Please. Just don't. Lee sighed and backed away. She'd seen that look before, the look of a woman about to do something desperate. Across town, Deacon sat in Taylor's office, staring at the same corner of the carpet he'd been staring at for days. I don't know how to fix this, he said quietly. Taylor leaned forward, concern etched across her face. Maybe it's not about fixing it, Deacon. Maybe it's about accepting that sometimes love isn't enough. He looked up, eyes tired. You sound like you're talking about yourself. She smiled faintly. Maybe I am. For a long moment, the only sound was the rain outside, the soft ticking of Taylor's desk clock, and the unspoken weight of everything between them. Then Deacon said, almost in a whisper, I told her it was over. Taylor's heart skipped. And she didn't take it well. I'm worried about her. Taylor hesitated. Sheila's dangerous, Deacon.
You know that.
You can't save her from herself. He shook his head. That's the thing, Taylor. I think I broke her. What neither of them realized was that at that very moment, Sheila was parked across the street, watching the lights of Taylor's office flicker through the rain. She couldn't hear the words, but she didn't need to. She saw the way Deacon leaned forward, the way Taylor's hand lingered on his arm. Her grip tightened on the steering wheel until her knuckles turned white. "You took everything from me once, Taylor," she whispered. "You helped destroy my life. Not again." That night, Sheila went home and opened a box she hadn't touched in years, a small wooden chest buried beneath old photographs. Inside were remnants of the woman she used to be: a lockpick, a burner phone, a ring she once used to smuggle a key, and a photograph of Taylor from her medical board days. Her hands shook as she held it. "You wanted me to be better," she murmured. "You all did. But you never let me be free." For the first time in months, a cold clarity filled her mind. She didn't want to kill anyone, not this time. But she would make Taylor pay. If Taylor wanted Deacon, she would have to see what loving him really cost. The next day, strange things began happening at Taylor's office. The receptionist found the door slightly open in the morning, though she swore she'd locked it. One of Taylor's patient files went missing. A framed photo of her, and Steffi was turned face down on her desk. At first, Taylor brushed it off as stress, until she found a single red rose lying on her chair, its petals bruised and dark, with no note. That evening, she called Deacon. "Someone's been in my office," she said, voice trembling slightly. "It feels off. I think it's Sheila." Deacon stood up immediately. "Sheila wouldn't," he stopped mid-sentence, realizing he didn't believe his own words. "I'll come over." By the time he arrived, Taylor was pacing. He could feel her fear, the same fear he'd once seen in others when Sheila's name came up. "She's unstable," Taylor said. "You have to be careful." Deacon ran a hand through his hair. "Sheila's not the same woman she used to be. She wouldn't hurt you." Taylor looked at him. "Wouldn't she?" "For you, Deacon. She'd burn the world." Deacon didn't answer. He wanted to defend Sheila, but deep down, he remembered every time she'd sworn she'd changed, only to fall again. That night, while Taylor slept, a faint scratching sound came from her back door. She stirred, half dreaming, until she heard it again, deliberate, slow, steady. Her heart pounded as she reached for her phone, ready to call the police, but when she pulled the curtain back, there was nothing but darkness. Then she saw it, a shadow, quick and low, slipping past the hedges. She pressed her hand to the glass. "Sheila," she whispered. The next morning, Deacon showed up at Il Giardino. Sheila was wiping down tables, her hair pulled back, her expression calm. Too calm. "Why'd you go to her house?" he demanded. She looked up slowly. "I didn't." Taylor saw someone. "She's terrified." She smiled faintly. Maybe her conscience is catching up with her. "Don't play games, Sheila," he snapped. "You can't stalk her." She dropped the cloth and stepped closer. "You think I'm the monster again, don't you?" He hesitated, and that was answer enough. Her voice cracked. "After everything, after I gave up everything for you,